Hi, my name is Whitney Peck, and welcome to your daily Farm and Home Show. Today we're joined by Kristin, our horticulture agent here at the Warren County Extension Office. Now, Kristin, we've made a tomato salad here. So what is the name of this tomato salad?
Yes, so I'm glad that you asked, because this is a very simple, very, I think, true colors of summer with these tomatoes. So we've got on the plate tomato caprese salad, and it is just super easy, super simple, and it captures those wonderful flavors of those tomatoes.
So walk us up kind of the first steps of cutting the tomato and then plating it.
Yes, so what you'll need to do is we went to the farmer's market. We went to the original Bowling Green farmer's market and picked up just a nice variety of slicing tomatoes for this time of year. So we went with like a nice red, I think a lot of times people think of that red tomato. So we have a Cherokee purple. It does have a little bit of some purple hints to it, as well as a yellow tomato. With the yellows, sometimes they're a little bit less acidic, so it still looks really pretty for our plate that we're going to make later. And then we have another heirloom type that's Mr. Stripey, and it has some nice tones to it, like maybe some greens and some oranges, as well as a little bit of yellow. So we wanted to make sure that we had a nice variety for our plate. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that that's nicely washed ahead of time, and then after we do that, we take a slicing knife, a tomato slicer if you want to call it that, and you just want to make sure that those slices are pretty thick, because we're going to add in the mozzarella, and so we kind of want it to be about the same thickness. So whenever you're cutting those, make sure it's pretty uniform throughout. And then what we did is on a plate, we wanted to kind of do some different colors, so we went ahead and added those different varieties, so that way you could have a nice contrast of that on the platter itself. And we just chose a white simple platter to make it very pretty for the presentation part of it, but you can certainly use whatever platter you want to. But then next we take slices of the mozzarella cheese, and then we place those in between the tomato slices. And so that is pretty unique, but the basil really elevates this salad. And I love basil and tomatoes. They're the perfect combination of summer. So I have a lot of basil at home in my container, so I added that, took those harvested in the morning, and then you do want to make sure that those basil leaves are washed off. So what you want to do is do like a mozzarella tomato with the basil. We just kind of strategically place those throughout the dish. And then really next, Whitney, all we did was just add a little bit of some flavor to it, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then we added just a little bit of some extra virgin olive oil, and then for the very last effect, we added some balsamic glaze. So this is just a super simple, easy recipe. Really, I feel like if you're looking at like a summer event or any kind of garden party, I feel like this dish will fit any time of day. It'll work great just as an appetizer. It's a cold dish, so you don't really have to, use the oven, especially for the summer months. And then too, you can also use it as a side dish or as a salad.
And it smells so good.
Yeah, whenever you and I were working together on it, it was like, man, you can really smell that basil. And that's the nice simplicity with this dish, is that it's only 3 ingredients. So tomatoes are king in the garden for this time of year, and two, the flavors are so different with the uniqueness of the tomatoes. Some are going to be more sweet, some are going to be a little bit more tart, and then just that little bit of mozzarella with the basil, it's just so pretty, and I really like the simplicity of it.
Yeah, it is very pretty, and the smell, I mean, like I said, it smells so good.
Sometimes like when you're getting ready for your entrees and things like that, people want to kind of gather around a table, and so certainly you can use it to kind of start conversations, I feel like, and maybe explain, hey, if this is something, because we went to the farmer's market and picked these up, but I think a lot of gardeners that are actually growing their tomatoes, they want to share. So this is a great conversation starter to get your party started, but then too, you can kind of share how those tomatoes were grown for the season.
And a great way to show a little bit of agriculture knowledge in there too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's just a great way to share information with family and friends.
I think this would be a great 4th of July, but also beginner school starting too. I think this could be a great opportunity to use it.
Like if anybody has questions on how to assemble something simple like this, they can certainly give us a call at the office and we can walk them through. But we're hope that people will be inspired by some of these flavors of tomatoes as well as the basil.
Yeah. If you want to find any more recipes, check out the Warren County Extension Agriculture page. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.